Do you know someone who's tied up in being rude, disrespectful, mean-spirited? Someone who's tied up in negativity, talking about other people, causing disruption, and acting uncivil no matter where they go? You know what's even worse? Is to be someone who's tied up in civility knots and issues and not even know it. And that's what I'm here to talk to you all this evening about: civility, your key to success in college. We can turn on the television today and you'll see more and more in all facets of society issues dealing with civility. I presented this morning over in the Student Union building. I went back to my hotel, got like a 2.5-hour break, cut on ESPN, and I'm sitting there watching it, and my jaw just hits the ground because I learned that the coach from Rutgers, the basketball coach, gets fired because he's abusing and beating up and calling his players all sorts of inappropriate names and all. And they decided at first, we're going to just put him on probation. And we're going to help mentor and coach him until the video gets out on television. And then they terminate him and they fire him. But we see civility issues all the time. We see it play out in society. And I want you to think right now, what does civility mean to you? What does civility mean? Cooperation, okay? Yes, what does civility mean to you? Yes, sir. Behaving well, okay? Cooperation, behaving well. Two good answers. What does civility mean to you? Yes. Treating others with respect. Good one. Give me one more person. What does civility mean to you? Yes. Conducting yourself properly. All of those answers are dead on. If you don't know what civility means to you, then most often than not, a lot of folks who don't take pride in civility or how they act and conduct themselves out in public or even here on campus, oftentimes you'll find yourself having challenges. Lillian Gish, she says this: you can get through life with bad manners, but it's easier with good manners. You can get through life with bad manners, but it's easier with good manners. What does that mean to you? Anyone? Anyone? What does that mean to you? You can get through life with bad manners, but it's easier with good manners. Yes. You get more of what you want when you're polite about it. Yes. Anyone else? What does that mean to you? Any of you ever go to register for class, or you go to purchase a book from the bookstore, and you sit and you witness another student get upset or ask for something in a very mean way, and they wonder why that person that they're asking for help or assistance isn't willing to go the extra mile? That's why. Because they say common courtesy costs you nothing. I listen to people oftentimes say, well, if they don't give me respect, they don't get respect. And the reality is respect starts with you and impacts others. When you go out each and every day, on campus, out in public, or what have you, you represent yourself, you represent your family, you represent those adults, the relatives in your lives, teachers who taught you and encouraged you and inspired you, and you represent UNC Charlotte. Every time you go out, even in the community. And I told the people this morning in my session, 2 weeks ago I met with a friend of mine. He's 15 years older than I am, and he's an Indian. He's from He's from India. And we sat and we talked. And he told me, he said, when my parents sent me to the U.S. to go to school, to go to the university, he said they told me, they taught me, make us look good. Make us look good. And they weren't talking about it in an extravagant way or a rock star type way, but make us look good based on the values that we taught him. So he came to the U.S., he excelled when he went to get his undergraduate degree. And when he graduated, he had a full scholarship for grad school. And he went on and he majored in hotel and hospitality, so he worked at the major hotels in Washington, D.C., in New York, and in Florida and California. He traveled around the U.S. working at major hotels. But he had 3 children. He had 3 girls. He had 2 girls now that are lawyers and one's a dentist. But he taught them the same thing. Make us look good. And in making us look good, it's about values. What are the values that you're taught? Sometimes it puzzles me because you can have 2 or 4 children come from the same household. And 2 of them will act civil, and one of them you'll act like, I don't even know who that is. Because for somehow, some way, they just didn't get it. They just didn't grasp it. But it's very important that you know and you remember it's much easier to go through life with good manners.